Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. I have a channeled conversation and kind of experience that I had with a brand new extraterrestrial race, and I wanted to share it with all of you. It ended up being a really deep, interesting message that came from the interaction. Um, it started off really lighthearted. I thought I was getting maybe like a personality that I wasn't. Um, so let me tell you what happened. And this is actually really strange. When I get into the channeling part, it might get confusing because I was in a I was in such a weird state. I have never been in this state while channeling where I was channeling this being, but at one point it was getting so hard to explain this. It was getting so chaotic that I was channeling him and my higher self, and I think I was channeling one other being at the same time. And so the way I'm talking, the way I'm speaking, like which tense I'm speaking in, jumps around. Um, but I think you're going to be able to follow it. Um, so Metatron, I wanted to channel, and Metatron brought this individual to me. Um, He they had to tell me what planet they were from, and I had to, like, Google it to spell it. So the way the planet is spelled, it's in the 7th dimension, and maybe that's why this was so weird, because I was in a dimension that was just way higher than what I normally tap into probably. The name of the planet, the main name is Bootes, and so in English it kinda looks like booties, and so I was saying, "Oh, you're from the planet Booty?" I was, like, joking with this guy, and, that's not how you pronounce it because 'cause it's got 2 little dots over one of the O's, so it's pronounced Bootes. I think I said that right, and there's 2 words to this planet, so that's the 2nd word. The first word is Psi, Psi, so he's from Psi Boötes. He was blue. His head, like, was larger on top than on the bottom. Um, and I'm not joking. This guy had a blue cape on, and so I thought this guy was here to, like, joke around with me, right? Um, his race felt very technical. It felt very analytical. It felt very mathematical. Like, it had that kind of energy to him. If you've ever seen there's a cartoon that came out a long time ago. Um, it's like a movie cartoon, and it was called Megamind. This guy looks very similar to Megamind, who is blue with a big head on the top and kind of small on the bottom, and he's wearing a blue cape. So I kind of feel like whoever wrote that saw this species before. Anyways, um, so he was trying to connect to my energy, and it made sorry, I'm just gonna bump my camera up. He was trying to connect to my energy, and it made my head feel like it was vibrating, like it was uncomfortable. And I realized it's because this guy's 70, I'm not, clearly. So the difference in vibration made it hard for him to connect to me initially. At one point, I heard him say greetings, and then I didn't hear any words. And then I just felt like sorry, guys, my cat's walking around. This is the one you don't normally see. He's my older one. He's 14. This is Finn. He's deaf. He's adorable. Okay, bye bye, boy. He's the one moving things around. Um, so I didn't hear any words after he said greetings, but I felt like these waves of frequency in my brain, and it felt horrible. It felt like I was getting seasick because it was just all this energy coming at me. Um, and so he had to adjust again because he thought he had the right connection with me. He didn't. So I asked Metatron, is he adjusted now? And Metatron said yes. So then he lifts my head up And I asked Metatron why he wants me to look at him because I'm like, this is weird. People don't normally do this. And then he's lifted my head up because he is now working on my third eye. Um, and I know this is weird, but I almost got the impression that he had like a screwdriver and he was tightening screws. Was kind of the energy of what it felt like. And then I felt him working on my actual human eyes, my physical eyes. Um, and then when he was done, he put my head back down in the regular position. So I start coughing because he's had my head up and now my head's down, and I was sick at the time. So I started coughing. And so since he's sitting around messing around with all my body and he's from 7D, I was like, hey, can you fix my cold? Because I think every single being I came in contact with while I was sick, I was like, hey, can you fix this? I tried. Um, so he tilts my head back again. This time he has more tools to work on the throat. He puts my head back up. I asked him if he's healed my cold. He said no. He said he tuned up my throat chakra. So when he spoke to me, I could feel it coming out of my third eye as if my third eye was like a speaker. It was crazy. Um, and so I asked him, "Are you ready to channel?" And he said, "Yes." And then he gives me his name. He says, "I am Kwam Ya." And how I spelled it to understand how to say it was Quamya, Kwam Ya. And he said, "Does this feel comfortable?" And he meant talking through my third eye. And so I said yes, because I could handle it. It didn't hurt. It was just strange. And he said, "All right." And so here's this message. The human mind is a work of art, extremely precise and yet malleable, fluid, changing. And so why he's saying this, he's like telling me this message and he's poking around in my brain. Like, I don't know what this guy was doing. He was probably just like, yeah, I'm gonna try saying he's like, he was making it easier for me to communicate with him. But this guy's like just acting like it's totally normal to just come up to a stranger and just poke around their brain. Um, so he says there are very few active por- what did I write wrong? Did I do an autocorrect? There are very few. Oh, so he's talking about the brain. So he's when he was in my brain, he was saying there are very few active portions like of the brain in the 3D version that you have. It reinforces your belief in your limitations, but it is an illusion. The human brain is designed for 7D understanding once it is fully activated. This will come in time. You can customize your brain and train it to be more efficient in anything you like. And then I saw him, this is going to sound strange. I saw him making neural pathway connections in my brain. So we already we know based on science that the brain is has neuroplasticity, which means it's like he said, it's malleable, it's changeable, it's customizable to be more efficient in whatever we want. We know that right now in our science. He was creating neural pathways, which are it's like the roadmaps in your brain for things your brain knows how to do well. So he was just putting those down for me instead of me having to practice whatever it was that he put down. And so I asked him, "What are you doing?" And he said, "They are to help you understand more things." And then I felt something in my solar plexus. So I said, "Are you in my solar plexus now?" And he says, "Yes." And I said, "That seems a little personal for having just met you. Like this, your solar plexus is a very personal chakra." Um, I'm like, this seems a little personal for having just met you. I can see the chakras are like a 3D spinning geometric shape made of particles. So the way he is showing me my chakras is a totally different view than how I normally see them. It's much more intricate, it's much more complex. I normally get a real basic view of things, probably more like a 3D view instead of like a 7D view. Not that I think this was 70, but it was just higher than what I'm used to. And so he's showing me this spinning geometric shape made of particles, and he's reconfiguring this shape. He and he's downloaded things into my brain because remember he did those neural pathways. So I'm understanding different shape, different purpose. So different shape of the chakra, it has a different function. Just like enzymes in the human body. I don't know what you guys know about science. So the enzymes or the proteins in the human body, based on the 3D shape of the protein, based on how it folds up and whatever shape it makes, based on how it's folded up, based on all the attractions of all the molecules, that shape determines what that enzyme or protein can be used for in your body. So, anyways, there's your science lesson for the day. So, the chakra feels like it's made of metal now. My chakra feels like it's made of metal now. It is so much stronger than the rest of me. And I kind of want to throw up because he's messing with my solar plexus and so that's in your stomach. So of course you want to throw up, right? Um he does the sacral, which that felt fine, didn't feel weird, and then he does my root chakra next. Um so then he continues his conversation and he says, "The human body has room for so many upgrades and improvements. It's still like a blank slate mostly. As time goes on, you will learn to manipulate your bodies better so that you are masters over them instead of the other way around. The body should be a vessel for experience, not a prison. The mind, too, should be a place of experience, not a prison. Right now, most human bodies and minds are prisons. They are limiting. They are roadblocks to development. They are functioning from their lowest levels. It's so far from what the human being was designed to be. The process of you evolving to your true potential would be very slow if we were not activating your DNA." And when he says we, he's making reference to many, many, many benevolent star groups, not just his planet. The mind is your enemy. It will deceive you, tell you lies, judge you, and only take the physical world into account. The mind will be rational when emotion is needed, and emotional when rational thoughts are needed. The mind is only looking out for the body. It will not acknowledge the existence of the soul because it cannot see it. The mind wants to understand. It will not let you believe unless it can understand. But the mind is only designed for lower thoughts, such as survival and social norms or cultural norms. You must master your thoughts and master your emotions to master being human. Otherwise, you are at the mercy of every fear and feeling, every judgment, and every intrusive thought. Master your thoughts, master your emotions, and you will control your reality. Mastering your emotions means to feel them without being compelled to act or do. Just feel. mastering your thoughts that are not kind. No, mastering your thoughts means rejecting the thoughts that are not kind. Rejecting the thoughts that come from a place of fear or anger. Rejecting the thoughts that criticize. The human potential is so much more. Humanity is the composite of many beings across the universe. Humanity has the potential for the most desirable qualities of each of these species. They have the potential to be more than any species that came before. You, humanity, are the great experiment of the universe. He shows me planets being destroyed by cyborgs, reptilians, draconians. No one has been able to stop them. Earth was made as a combination of many planets. Humanity was made as a combination of many species. We, humanity, were built to be the bodies that could awaken enough to change all of the pasts from all of the timelines, to put back the planets that were destroyed, to undo the darkness. We have the capacity for 7D consciousness, and we can raise the planet, and we can change the past. We are the super soldiers of the universe, but not the way anyone would think. This is not a battle of weapons. This is not a battle of physicality or tangible things. This is a psychic battle to overcome the tangible physicality and to ascertain the knowledge of the divine. This is about being love, creating love energy as a weapon against darkness, as an agent of change. The human focuses on their own ascension, their own joy, healing their own hurts. As you release trauma from the past, you are changing your past. As you learn new ways of being and hold a higher vibration, you change the past. And now the future options are different because changing the past shifts the timeline. You move to a different timeline. There is a critical number of light workers to hold higher timelines for humanity, and it has been reached. Not everyone needs to take a higher timeline for the collective to raise itself. And you can tell I'm kind of switching over to speaking from my higher self. Our bodies are the masterpiece of the universe. Humanity is meant to be the saviors of the universe by raising their consciousness above that of their planet. Experienced souls from every planet are here on Earth to lead the way, to show the way to higher consciousness. This is the master plan to save everything. We can't fail because not just Earth would be lost, everything would be lost. That's why we aren't able to fail. This is the one time everything works out and there's a happy ending. All of these planets invested everything into this experiment being humanity. All of this, all of the universe went all in on this idea, the idea of humanity. That's why they protect us and guide us. They take care of us because we are the only chance to make this right again. Humanity is the savior. Jesus tried to show the way. Jesus was a way shower. Jesus was a light worker. This is not a job for one. This is a job for many. The light workers are laying the groundwork so that others can follow. That is the end of this message. Big message. Really, really big message. You might have to listen to this a couple times or read it on Medium to really absorb everything that was said because this was a really large message. So until next time, see you guys later.